The assassins. The venal murderers of the old world. Centuries ago, it began great triumph of a secret organization, which are the untraceable and perfect killers brought forth. The assassins. Translated from Arabic, means the word assassin, the hash consumer. An interesting question is, how could this order have achieved such widespread world fame? That mysterious order of bounty hunters existed in the Middle East at the time of the medieval. First and foremost, is the Order of the Assassins, from the wars against the Christian Crusaders emerged. But after some time, the assassins perfected their methods and fighting techniques, and was off now to invisible contract killers. The second question to ask, is why is this mysterious order disappeared again after about 150 years? It is precisely through this style of contract killers, that ours goes today's understanding of the assassins. Today I will tell you the story about the assassins. Here we go. The founder of this primarily religiously motivated order was Hassan I-Sabah, born in the middle of the 11th century AD. This group was a Shiite Islamic community of Nizarites and Ismailites. Hassan I-Sabah founded an organization which in the mountainous areas of Persia, Syria and Iraq for more than 150 years operated. The headquarters of this organization was the Turk Seljuk castle at Alamut. This castle was conquered by the assassins, in 1090 AD, through a cunning act. Hassan I-Sabah, the founder of the assassins, went through the citadel, which was considered impregnable a surprise attack, and the payment of 3,000 dinars, to their Seljuk governor Mahdi without bloodshed. He strengthened the fortifications, and set up storehouses for possible sieges. Together with neighboring settlements, the area around Alamut was made usable for growing grain by building terraces. This castle is located about 100 kilometers from the Iranian capital, Tehran. In the period that followed, this fortress was the headquarters of the Persian assassins, for about 150 years. The sphere of influence of Hassan I-Sabah and his successors became later expanded into a small kingdom by further fortresses, such as the Lamasar fortress. These castles served the Ismaili assassins, throughout Persia and Syria as a refuge, from persecution or conflict. Hassan I-Sabah lived in Alamut fortress for 34 years, and led a modest life. He had a wife and several sons. As a master, he demanded obedience, and discipline from his subordinates. One of his students was sentenced to death, for drinking wine. Another was also sentenced to death, for false accusations and lies. This strict leadership of his subordinates needed even more followers. After a few years, about 60,000 people gathered under his rule. The idea of turning his subjects into cold-blooded meshal murderers occurred random as the story progresses. In the city of Salwa, by order of Haitham al-Mulk, the chief advisor to the Seljuk Sultan, followers of the Ismailites and some assassins were publicly executed. When the Assassinin founder, Hassan I-Sabah heard this, he went to the highest tower in Alamut castle, and proclaimed that the death of the chief advisor to the Seljuk Sultan gave the killer a place in the paradise secures. Following this, many fanatics who were ready gathered at the foot of the tower, ready to kill the chief advisor to the Seljuk Sultan. One who was extremely motivated to carry out this assassination was the follower Niku but Tahir Arani. He was willing to pay the price with his life, and eliminate the Sultan's chief advisors. It was him that Master Hassan I-Sabah chose for this mission. On October 10, 1092 AD, in the city of Salwa, which is south of the Iranian capital Tehran, Niku but Tahir Arani was able to approach to the chief advisor to the Seljuk Sultan, and his bodyguards unnoticed, up to a few meters. The Sultan's chief advisor was assassinated, with a stab in the back. With pleasure, Niku but Tahir Arani surrendered in the hopeless fight with the bodyguards and died. The assassin's master Hassan I-Sabah erected a great memorial plaque for the heroic use of Niqab Tahir Arani. During the reign of Master Hassan I-Sabah, another 49 people were killed by the hands of the assassins. These people were sultans, princes, kings, governors, priests, scholars and simple soldiers. After the first politically significant assassination, the master of assassins was convinced that his organization is a powerful one. Because of this, a military elite detachment was founded by the assassins, the Fedali. Only the best and most experienced assassins made it into this department. One could say that this detachment of assassins was the first religious-motivated terror department in the world. Hassan I-Sabah instilled in his followers, day and night, that after the successful assassination they would go to paradise. Hassan I-Sabah already visited his followers for a foretaste to point to paradise. A garden was created in a mountainous region that was difficult to access, and built with the most beautiful plants and trees. In the center of this garden stood a castle decorated with gold. There was milk, honey, and wine in abundance. Only the most beautiful women lived in the palace, and in the garden the whole region, which all musical instruments play and could dance. Many new members of the assassin order became involved with hashish and wine stunned, and led into this mysterious garden. In the face of all the beauty and under the influence of alcohol and drugs, they thought were really in paradise. For this reason, they have every word from the assassin master Hassan I-Sabah believe. After a few days of living in paradise, the assassins became aspirants again drugged with hashish, and out of the mysterious garden taken back to Alamut Castle. There the aspiring assassins were asked by the master where the days were. And they answered, "In paradise, master, thanks to his infinite wisdom." The aspiring assassins were so enthusiastic, and told all the details the other followers. The other assassins grew jealous, and were even more willing to sacrifice their life in the course of an assassination attempt to get to paradise. The elite assassins detachment has been trained in mathematics and astronomy. In addition, they could perfectly wield any type of weapon, knew all types of poisons, and taught to survive in difficult circumstances. They were taught that a true assassin can hole up in a city for years, and pursues his target to perform a quick, unnoticed and effective kill. The skills of masquerade and disguise were also taught to assassins. They could disguise themselves, and talk so well, that no one could ever unmask them. So three could effortlessly disguise themselves as a European crusader, Christian priest or Oriental trader. In addition, the assassins mastered and could speak many European languages, and speak without an accent. All this just to get deeper into the locked and difficult to access place of their target, to turn it off in a flash and unexpectedly. When the assassins were caught and tortured, no matter how bad the torture was, never reveal anything about the assassin order. The order was particularly active under the leadership of Master Hassan I-Sabah. Under him, the assassin order had great influence on many surrounding provinces, in Syria, Iraq and Persia. The assassins gained fame among the princes of the Orient, and became bought by them for large sums of money as contract killers. One reason was about some governors and princes of the European Crusaders, to get out of the way. The master and founder of the assassins died in 1124 AD. But the assassin orders remained a powerful, and powerful even after his death, dangerous organization. For a time, the assassins and crusaders lived peacefully side by side in the Holy Land. The European Crusaders also had a demand for good assassins, and the assassins had the supply for them. In 1227 AD, 2 years before Emperor Frederick II started his crusade, Emperor Friedrich II contacted the assassins, and bought from them 80,000 gold dinars, a security guarantee for himself and his army. In 1231 AD, the Duke Ludwig of Bavaria was a knife murder of an assassin fallen victim on the Danube Bridge near Kelheim. The German Emperor Friedrich II is said to have hired the assassins. But later a conflict began between the assassins and the Crusaders, and this trading relationship dissolved. The assassin's image extended beyond the Middle East. The European kings were filled with fear at the word assassin, but the power in the assassins was destroyed. In 1256 AD, the headquarters of the assassins were taken over and conquered by a huge army of the Mongols. In 1260 AD, the second most important castle of the assassins became Mishyov, also conquered and destroyed by the Mongols. Nationwide, the assassins were accused of breaking the law and murder. The killing of the assassins was greatly appreciated by the local sultan's bounty spent. By and large, the order of assassins was destroyed. The surviving assassins were forced to hide in the mountains out of the public eye. Legend has it that the remaining assassins emigrated to India. That's it for today on the legendary and mysterious assassins. I hope you enjoyed the video. If so, please leave a subscription and a thumbs up. See you soon. Your channel History Best.